Alright, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here, and I have no idea how long I've been sitting here listening to this music. There's something about it that you can't just like, you almost don't remember it's there. I don't know, I pulled up this game to record and then something popped up, so I left it in the background, and I just now realized how this music has been intruding on my brain for like the past hour and a half. Anyway. So actually, after I slept on it, I do want to raise something real quick. Monica here mentioned that she's been learning to play piano. And from time to time, there is piano in the background, like that, the background ambiance music. Like right now, obviously it's just, yeah, there it is. I think that may have been supposed to be the first clue that she was realizing she was in a game. But I missed it because I wasn't paying attention. And then her first poem she wrote was about looking out of a small hole and seeing endless possibilities and seeing stuff she wasn't supposed to see, and it was really bright and really shiny. I kind of think that may have been like the inside of my monitor. Maybe. I don't know, because I can imagine it's really freaking bright. Especially to a character that's coming out of it, which is a scary idea, by the way. And then her second poem was definitely rubbing it in my face that she did know she was in a game. It was save me, and then load me, and then she gave me that writing tip of the day, just in case I didn't get the message, that was telling me to save my game, because something unexpected may happen. So she definitely knows she's in a game, but what concerns me though is that the first poem of these three girls were all very innocent almost. Hers was about, you know, giving up, sure, but it was very childish. Hers was about sunshine, and hers was about ghosts in the light holding on to the past, you know, not innocent concepts, but like generally, you know, innocent as in not really murderous. But they all mention speaking to Monica and having Monica influence some of their writing, and that's when they came up with that second poem. See, she was talking about a raccoon, and I was going through the recording to like make sure the audio was coming through right, finally. And her raccoon, you know, poem, I didn't get it when I first read it, but now that I'm thinking about it, she did mention that, you know, there was this raccoon and she cuts the bread to feed the raccoon, but what got me is at the last stanza she does mention there's blood whenever she cuts the bread. I think the raccoon is a symbolism for her animal side. It's her side that, I don't know, kind of likes violence, hurting people, you know, that sort of stuff. And she's feeding it, and it's growing closer to her. It gets more excited every time she does it. It follows her closer. It's never satisfied. It's always hungry. You know, it's kind of alarming, especially because she did mention blood in the last stanza. So she may be either starting to get the tendency to start to hurt people, or maybe herself or something, because blood didn't really fit into that. But anyway, that's hers. I didn't get to read hers because I ticked her off, unfortunately, but I'm sure it would have been like just as gruesome. Hers was about bottles and scooping out the happy thoughts. But rereading, you know, re-listening to it again, she does mention in the final stanza that all she hears is echoing, as in her head is completely empty, and she doesn't understand what her friends are shouting at her about because her head is empty. She scooped out everything. That could be extremely alarming, because if she takes out all her happy thoughts like she did and she put them into bottles and, you know, various shelves, that just leaves this kind of like husk of a person standing here. And if she's starting to feel that way, that's a little alarming, because just one conversation with Monica where I wasn't looking and she feels like a husk of a person with no happy thoughts left. And Monica, I don't know, there's something about her eyes. Most of the story she spends just staring at you like this, and it's not like these other girls, but they'll kind of look away a lot. It's like she doesn't blink, she just stares. And the way she moves too is like really dramatic. Anyway though, Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind herself. She then stands behind the podium. Oh, we're gonna read more about Monica. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Well, it's her poem. She wrote it, so I guess she would know where to put it, where to put all the emotional lines. Is this something she's done before, or is this simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica, as it should. I hate it whenever you're standing up reading your piece of writing and some guy in the corner is reading a book. Very rude. Or twiddling with his freaking phone. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ooh, she really wants to go up. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Release the Yuri! Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head low, she quickly walks over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she begins starting the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed in her books. Yeah, I do that too, where you get like stage fright, but as soon as you start getting into it, it's really natural. It's really fun. It's kind of why I haven't come up with an intro yet, because I feel really awkward in the beginning of the recording, but as it goes, I kind of feel a little bit more confident in what I'm saying and what I'm doing. But then I still have to come up with an outro that I feel really awkward there at the end too, because you suddenly realize that there may be someone out there sort of listening in halfway. Her quivering words transform into sharp syllables of fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirlwind fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if bewildered even herself. Yeah, it's nice to feel that kind of proud thing where you stand there and go, I did that and I didn't ruin it at all, and there was no reason for me to be scared. It's up to me to save this situation. What? No, she's fine. Leave her alone. I'm the first to start applauding. Oh, no one else was applauding? Everyone joins after and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. Dang. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Boink! Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of the chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, where you get up on stage and it's like this really important affair and there's like drapes on the roof and there's like everybody in ball gowns and everything and you can't stop giggling. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror, or in your own head. Yeah, or like the feeling you have whenever you're writing it. Like, or I guess they didn't write these, because otherwise this game would have showed me it. See, even when she's talking to her right there, she's staring at me. I don't know, it's kind of a little unsettling. But yeah, that's the way you do it. You just don't pretend everybody's in their underwear. That never works. All you do is you just pretend that you're in your own little bubble. No one can hear you in the entire world. You're just satisfying yourself, and then, of course, the audience will come in, of course. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. Oh, I guess they did write this. Why can't I read the poems? I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. She likes bittersweet things. And also she's not aimlessly cheery. That poem about her scooping out all her happy thoughts and putting them in jars clearly shows complex character development. Alright? She's not aimlessly cheery like she was in the very beginning of the book, very beginning of the game, where she was waving her arms, shouting, "Hey!" Any anime ever. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning, because this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Yeah, you know, poems are deeply, intimately personal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You know, if someone reads your writing, they know you on a deeper level than someone who hasn't. Sayori finishes, and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Crow liked it. Crow's biased. You're cute, so he's gonna like anything you say. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be other poems won't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours with that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little bit more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. Then next time, I'm gonna make you pick a poem that challenges you more. Yes, there's so many poems out there that have that require the narrator to be like fierce and bold and cut and blunt and really, put force behind the words. We don't have much time before the festival, and that's your own fault because you didn't let us know. Just gonna throw it out there. Okay, now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Crow. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Aw, sweetheart. I hate being the first person to go, and I hate being the last person to go. In the middle is right where I always like to go, because that's when it's like the groove spot where there's not so much pressure on yourself. You're not going to be remembered that much, so it's a little bit more satisfying, a little bit easier for me too, especially with my stage fright. Might as well let Chloe lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Ouch. Shot through the heart. Okay. Natsuki. It's fine. I may as well get it over with. She hates me because I don't do the cutesy and the simple. I just don't. But it's not like I have much of a selection on what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. Her eyes are always on me. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. You got pity applause. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. Can I read your poem? I didn't actually get to read it. The poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? 'Cause you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. When she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhyme and a rhythm to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Just for the big presentation in front of the entire school. What you gotta worry about? Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. Yeah, that's true. Because, like, there's two kinds of stage fright. There's the kind of stage fright that most people have, where you can't stand to stand up on a stage and recite to 1,000 people in the audience your deepest and most intimate thoughts, but you don't know a single one of them. And then there's the other kind, and that's what Natsuki is, where you don't mind doing that. That's fine. You don't know them. You don't know a single person in the audience. It's not scary. But when you personally know each and every person in the audience on a deep, intimate level, it can get a little... It can trigger a kind of stage fright that Natsuki has. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's a surprise, Natsuki. It's not as uncommon as you think. I think it would be the other way around for me. Yeah, she's the first type of stage fright. She's the second type. Well, that's just how it is. So, well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Even when she's doing this movement, she's still got her eyes on me. Oh, she's checking out that skirt. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. Body show. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. Just don't talk to anyone anymore, okay? You're, like, poisoning the other characters. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. When someone says Monday's the big day, that's when you know something horrible is going to happen Monday. I can't wait. I can do this. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. Yeah, you don't have to be passionate about something, but you do have to put in some effort. Otherwise, you're pulling down the team. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. I don't want to impress Monica. Monica scares me. Ready to go, Sayori? Oh, ready to go, Sayori? Yeah. Look at you two, always going home together like that. Apparently I've been in her room. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? It's kind of alarming. Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Crow. You don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I know that feeling, though, when you're, like, walking home with someone just to, like, have company on the walk home and make sure they get home safe, and then there's that one friend who gets out the bullhorn in the middle of the street and goes, "I'm madly in love!" Ah! And you're like, shut up. I'm trying to be nice. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed, but today Sayori's a little bit quieter than usual on the way home. It's because she talked to Monica, I think. Hey, Sayori. Well, sorry, I was spacing out. Oh, she's already thinking about her poem. I can dig that. I've actually, like, written a poem while I was walking home because I just couldn't stop thinking about it. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... I mean... Sayori fumbles with her words. Yeah, that happens a whole lot. You know, just because you're a writer, just because you've been writing for a couple of years doesn't mean you're very good at talking. So, let's just say that one day, Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? I don't know, is on my way home or something? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. You know what? Yuri is sweet, and I do relate to her on many, many levels as far as literature goes, and I do like most of her lines that she has in this game, as well as the development she's got. But Sayori's been a friend from the get since we were like little kids, and apparently she's been having me clean her house, and I've been in her room, and we've been walking back and forth from school since we were very young. So Sayori does have seniority over Yuri, so we're gonna still walk home with Sayori. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Yeah, but friends, man. Boop. Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cold. You're so silly, Crow. You think about me too much sometimes. Well, you think about everybody else, so someone has to. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it. So, Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure it out sometimes. Yeah, that's something some girls do, where they'll give you a deadline and they want one answer or the other answer, and they won't tell you which one they want to hear, and they'll just let you pick, and then whichever one you pick, they'll battle you on, make you think that they wanted the other answer because they want to know that you really tooth and nail want that answer. It's really freaking confusing. But it's a courting ritual, so don't worry about it. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never gonna happen? Huh? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. She has a crush on you, alright? Just start slipping friend into like everything you say to her, and then she'll get the hint that you're just friends. You'll be like, would you like a donut? Friend? Would you like some water? Friend? Would you like some tea? Friend? And she'll get the point after a year. And again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Why you gotta say stuff like that? Time to write some poems, poems, poems. Time to write some poems I really like to read. Incongruent. Extraordinary. I get there now. Unrestrained. Heaven sent. Analysis. Massacre. Unstable. Vivacious. Starscape. Captive. Contamination. Fester. Wrath. Vitality. Effulgent. Effulgent? I don't even know that word. Melancholy. Unending. Unrequited. Dang it, I always click unrequited. It's kind of makes sense though that she would jump up and down for unrequited, because I don't love her, but she loves me. Embrace. Dang it. Lust. I was on a streak. Aw, man. I'm the last one here again. You were playing piano, weren't you? Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Uh-huh. You must have a lot of determination, starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy you're all willing to help out with the festival too. she kind of picked up piano when the game started going. I swear, because like the second poem reading was when she was late. And she came in and she said, recently I picked up piano. I'm not very good, but I've been doing a lot of practice. And then she sneaks a look at me, a very meaningful look, and she says she'd love to play something for me. I get the feeling she already is. And it's this ambiance music. Right there. That's just a little piece of piano, and it's not complicated. It's not sounding very complicated. It's a lot of the same repetitive notes, but I don't know, it would kind of make sense. Huh? I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuke? Well, now she's on board, so shut up, otherwise she won't be on board. Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school. We get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. I wish we had that in America. That'd be great. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Where is Sayori? Monica, do you usually have fried squid? Oh, I love fried squid. Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. No, we all have those. The carnival food cravings, like deep fried onions and cotton candy. Oh, and the kettle corn when it's right off the pot and freshly seasoned. Now I'm super hungry. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? I love squid. I love octopus a little more though. You, of all people, not the raw octopus where it's like still wiggling and worming, but like the kind of where they slice the tentacle nice and thin. And I think that they boil it and then put it on top of sticky rice for sushi. It's really good. Also, it freaks people out, which I like to do. I didn't say I liked it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica. Am I missing something? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. I agree with her. Wait, that's another fourth wall break. Okay, fine. You break the fourth wall. Wait, you just broke the fourth wall at her. How's she gonna react? Never mind. Oh, she didn't react at all. She was just like, huh? Let's just focus on our own event for now. Okay, fine. Your reaction aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's. Anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. There's Sayori. Oh, Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. Why? I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Why are you spacing out so much? Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for missing weekdays. Geez, you worry too much about me. She's probably... See, like, writers are like... They're kind of like batteries. It takes them like really slow-moving batteries. Like, when you want to write, you plug in and you like load for like, or charge for like 3 freaking days, and then once you're full to bursting, you like stay up for like 2 nights in a row just spieling out this novella. She's in the recharging phase. I've been there. I'm fine. See? Sayori shows me a big smile and a little jump. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright, if you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before looking back towards everyone else. Clearly this guy isn't an author, because that is very typical. What you have to do is you have to go and you have to get her a drink, because she won't remember to do it. Get her a notepad, some paper, because if she finishes charging, like in that moment, she's going to want it. And possibly a snack, because whenever I'm charging like that, I forget to eat. I forget to drink. It's like your mind's going a million miles a minute, and you just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like you stop caring about your physical body and you start thinking about all these really cool story ideas. You're thinking about all these cool poems you can integrate. You're thinking about all these really fascinating ideas that you can portray if you just know how to advance the characters, you know, that sort of stuff. So it gets really, you know, it does space you out, so you gotta remember to keep them hydrated. But the conversation is already dispersed with everyone back to their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Well, Sayori was fine before she started talking to Monica. Well, no. Sayori was friends with Monica before this game started. Monica had an epiphany right after this game started. Like, right after this opened up. And she said it influenced her poems and has been writing poems about that since. So that's what the first poem was about. That's what the second poem was about. And Sayori mentioned in her second poem that her poem was influenced by Monica, and Monica just had an epiphany, and she's been breaking the fourth wall pretty consistently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approached Monica, who was shuffling through some papers at her desk. Crow, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who's idly dragging a rub eraser up and down her desk. Oh. It's not charging at all. That's just straight up depression. Get her some drinks. Get her some coffee. Whew. You can't be depressed when you're way overly caffeinated. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Crow. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of the club members, you know. Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seems like she wanted to be left alone. Yeah, maybe just leave her alone. You know, everybody bombarding her is going to make her feel really guarded and really cornered. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Crow. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? Yeah, I called it when I first found out I was a man. She does love Man Crow here. And Man Crow appears to have dismissed her for several years now, so that does get a bit hard, but I have been that girl before, and if you just keep, you can still be friends. She's just got to find someone who's better than you. So you're the guy who's been dismissing her for like 5 years, and she's been giving you neon signs that she secretly loves you, and you're just not giving her the time of day, not giving her any attention, just kind of like Man Crow here, where he was even thinking about running when she was coming up to say hi. She was making herself look like a fool just to try to catch his attention for 2 minutes. Whenever you find someone better than that is whenever you realize that someone like Man Crow would be really bad to date, because he's pretty selfish, it kind of sounds like. Also an illiterate pig, so. She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. Maybe she's always like that when you're around, because she has a crush on you, Man Crow. God, I am a woman trapped in a man's body, and he doesn't listen to me. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it ever has been. You're so funny, Crow. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? Ah, I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you can just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down at Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear from here. I sigh and sit myself down. Yeah, it's not really business anyway. And it's really awkward if you overhear it and then hear something super insulting about yourself, but you can't bring it up, because if you do, then they know that you were eavesdropping like a horrible little termite in the walls. I know Sayori taught me not to worry about her and have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this, especially how much I care about her. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. So this is getting to be a very cliquey harem. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize she won't get anywhere like this. Yeah, it's another book peekaboo. I'm down with that, Yuri. What's up? Found ya. I never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. This is piano too. This one's a lot more complex. But this music didn't start until a little later in the game. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Yeah, I understand that. Because whenever you want to be left alone, your shoulders square, your head goes down, you get this gruff look on your face. Just no. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. You know I caught you staring, right? In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those willingly what? Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. That was probably lost in translation. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who likes to keep things to myself. If something big and catastrophic happens, I want to deal with it myself, and then I'll tell the story to someone else, someone close to me, once everything's sorted out. Because once everything's a mess, I know that I can clear it up, and I don't have to upset someone else. It's really not a big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a bit off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, that's quite romantic. Sorry. So, I'm bringing up a friend and how I noticed my friend's body language to the girl that Man Crow likes. Jeez, guys are dumb. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have been friends for a long time, that's all. Oh, I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a bit too much. You know what? Maybe she's cramping. And we're all provoking her when she just wants to be left alone in her painful misery. Alright, leave her alone. She shouldn't have come to school today. Sayori, go home. Crow, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. Yeah, like her second poem where she was talking about, you know, scooping out her own head just to get the happy thoughts out and give them to friends and winding up empty herself. It's pretty powerful. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too. She wants chocolate. Alright, just get her chocolate, a heating pad, like 5 bottles of water, and like binge watch something on Netflix. It'll be great. And I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? You jealous? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Oh. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she's searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Don't ever do that. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. Chocolate! She needs chocolate! And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy. I noticed you're a pretty simple and pretty incredibly stupid guy. So I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings, and yet you can't hear me. The sass master in your head, who speaks the language of the girls. I know how to get you the girls, but you ain't listening to me and you ain't giving me options. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. Yeah, I agree. Ah, that's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Boom, I complimented you. The crowd goes wild. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, oh, God. Monica, stop me now, please. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Da-da-da. Thank God, Monica. Thank you. Boop. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the clubroom. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. I'm gonna check in on Sayori first. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. Eh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But that's okay. You're making good friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Crow. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright, just tell me if you need anything. Like chocolate, heating blankets, bottled water, and possibly wonton soup. God, I love wonton soup. Where's the closest Chinese place? This episode is making me really hungry. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now, if you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom humming to herself. Okay, humming to herself is a little bit of overkill. She's clearly not feeling well. She's feeling a little down. I think she needs to talk to someone. She's gotta have, like, family, right? Like, sometimes you can't talk about this stuff to your friends. I understand that, even if you've been with them since birth, you know. But you should at least be able to talk about this to some people in your family. I have to point out, I didn't get to see her poem. And it's also kind of developing that they're all seeing that I'm kind of gearing it towards Yuri. Let's see what Monica says. Hi, Crow. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, Being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it a bit more thought. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. What's best to do is to just shotgun it, pick a random poem, don't overthink it, and then you have like all that extra time to practice, and then you're really gonna nail it during the performance. Don't like spend the entire time that you have left, which is just a few days, mind you, trying to pick the perfect poem, and then you get to rehearse it like twice before it's time to go up on stage. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem that I'm holding in my hands. Your style's gotten so refined, Crow. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple of days than she's talked in the whole year. Yeah, she was really quiet whenever I first started here. She was just a shadow in the corner that kind of scolded Natsuke from time to time. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's, It's awfully suspicious, you know? Spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she's had a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know? Alright. I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up, so if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm gonna hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Oh. That's a little dark. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. I'm gonna have nightmares about this, aren't I? Oh, it's scrolls. Okay, the lady who knows everything. This is probably about her. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth, the lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day, I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when... I lost my spot. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glittering in the twilight sky, until one day the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I'm thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with the brush, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up on a gust of wind. I'm not really sure what she's meaning behind this. It's not nearly as creepy as the other ones that she did. Maybe she's getting a bit more settled in her knowledge of the fourth wall. It's not freaking her out as much. She's starting to draw inspiration from other things again. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. See, I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, that's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Yeah, it's a lot easier to write about something sad because that's something most writers can relate to. Happy things, they tend to get boring real quick. Like if you were to write, a story about a happy family in a happy, perfect house, you'd get really bored really fast. Like, really bored. And it's a lot more fun to challenge yourself to start writing about some of these complex feelings, like, looking for knowledge, and then whenever you find everything, realizing how minuscule and nonsensical it was, and how the world holds no meaning because you know everything, and there's no point. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Yeah, she's got a point. Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. You kind of are, though. I mean, you are two-dimensional. I think you'd know that better than anyone. There she goes, breaking the fourth wall again. You mean one-dimensional? Ah, yeah, that. Yeah, she's breaking the fourth wall again. Stop breaking it! Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put much time into. Yep, I feel that. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Yeah, that's why I kind of liked this poem circle in the beginning, because everybody can get up their confidence by just, sharing with friends, and everybody exchanges, and, everybody opens up, and, it was good in the beginning. It's just a little darker now. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good, or okay, or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it, and the things you can work on. Yeah, it's kind of like, if you paint something and you spend 100 hours painting something, and you hold it up to a room of people who've never drawn, who've never painted a thing in their entire life, they'll look at it and they go, wow, this looks amazing. And they'll look at it for 20 seconds, and that's the grand total of time that they'll give it. But if you take that to a room of art critics and artists, they will prattle for hours about your line work. They'll start talking about the beautiful use of coloring, your blending, they will give you more feedback that is more helpful and is more flattering as well. Like if I stood out on the street and held up one of my, stories and had someone read it, they'd probably say, this is really cool. I like it. But that's not really giving the time I put into it any sort of honor at all. See, if I were to show it to any Norse mythology specialists or, some writers out there that I like, that I know, they would start going into about character development and, really noticing all the stuff that went into your masterpiece. So it is better to show it to people who, that is their alley. It's much more encouraging that way, and it'll make you want to continue improving. Yep, she's right. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I can almost forget how creepy the last poem was. Natsuke told me not to show her the poem anymore because it wasn't written to her. I don't want to antagonize her anymore. Crow, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me is nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, really. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. I know that feeling, and it's a hard one, where, you've worked for years to refine this writing style into something that you are proud of, that others are in awe of, that you just is your masterpiece, 100% gorgeous. And then you start tutoring someone, and they pick it up, and they bolt with it, and they just, in 3 days, come to match your level. And the reason isn't that it is super hard to learn it. It isn't super hard to learn it at all. See, what's happening is she did everything all by herself, like I did, where you just start with stone and gristle and sweat and tears and a whole lot of blood, you know, a lot of time too. And you start somewhere and you work your way up and you develop your style from scratch. But if you teach it to someone else, that takes like, I'm not kidding when I say like a month for them to perfectly nail, because it's so much harder to develop it on your own than to just pick it up and learn it. That being said, Crowman hasn't come up with his own style here. He's not actually a proper author quite yet. All I'm doing is mimicking Yori's style because I want to please her. So I need to be exploring my own kind of style and what makes me satisfied as a writer, and not how to impress Yori. But I'm not, because this is a dating simulator game. Yori, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yori gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought I would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe you were so good at something and you'd never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Oh, yeah, authors are really shy. So now she's gonna tell me about how lonely she is and how everybody distances themselves from her, except in literature class, and she distances herself because it's just too much social interaction all of a sudden. It's like whenever I was in high school, you'd try to talk to someone and they wouldn't really hear you as a person, and they'd just kind of walk away and talk to someone about makeup or something, and you'd sit by yourself and like no one would come over eventually. They'd just kind of give up on you because you're developing a different world. And it is hurtful a lot, but it is something a lot of authors go through. Crow, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. Oh, that's a really sad way to look at it. I used to look at the world like that though. Like I'd have like 5 books with me anywhere I went. And the library limit was like 3, but the library caretaker lady cut me some slack. She gave me 5 because I always returned them the next day having read them all, because I was that big of a reader. And it is, you do say I'm surrounded by friends because they're in the books, but it is still lonely, very lonely. You know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. Yeah. That's pretty much how it feels. People say that about you? Yeah, people say that about a lot of writers. Most of the people that get bullied as far as middle school and high school goes are usually the creative types, like writers, are artists a whole lot. A lot of people, YouTubers too, I'm pretty sure, where like if you come up and say, I have a channel, and then like everybody else starts teasing you about it because you don't have as many subscribers as some of the YouTube titans, you know, which is completely unrealistic. But yeah, it's usually the creative types that do get picked on. I'm not a know-it-all, Crow. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. Yeah, I know that feeling. Where you like know nothing in any subject, but you know everything in this other subject, and you know that you don't know everything in that subject because there's always more to learn. There's always a next step. but no one seems to appreciate that. They instead start calling you a know-it-all because you know about this one subject that is your specialty. And it does get really frustrating because they don't listen to what you have to say. They just, label you as a snooty know-it-all and walk off. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make friends see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. Well, make yourself happy, and then the audience/friends will come to you. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. And it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what I was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Crow. I speak too slowly. I second-guess myself all the time. It's okay if you speak slowly. I click really fast. I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I speak to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri, and if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. No, I joined this club because I wanted cupcakes. And I would say I had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. Man, I am gonna be so friend-zoned. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands, but this time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want me to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ghost and Little Light Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing in the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows. Closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arms. The time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Okay, so in the past, she was talking about feeling very, very distant from everyone else, and she was staying in the last place of comfort, even as time was moving on past her and leaving her behind, even as the world was falling apart and growing dimmer and dimmer around her, and she was feeling more and more secluded, like she could never connect with anyone on the other side ever. Now she's talking about someone who crosses that line, reaches out and shows her warmth here. I think that warmth is friendship, it's companionship, and that's what she's up to here, so that would be me. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Well, do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine, I understand this one. Huh? Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me, so thank you. And I hope we can keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I can see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hand and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to complete a sentence. You mean, I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometime. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a great job. Yuri finally turns back towards me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri smiles timidly to me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. God, now I have to provoke Natsuki though. She told me not to show her my next poem. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even. Next! Told you. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out? Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. I didn't even notice that. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Ooh. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Oh. Jeez, Yuri. It's a dating simulator. What could happen? I get dumped? In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It almost feels like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to urinate. Natsuke, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being lovey-dovey. I am lovey-dovey with everyone except for you, you ungrateful imp. Boop. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Huh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier, and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so... You know, she's kind of right to derail me from asking what she said, because it's not really my business. If it was my business, Sayori would have talked to me. So she needs to wait until Sayori comes here, and so Sayori can disclose any sort of information to me, because otherwise she's being a gossip, and that's very rude. Let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuke will be making cupcakes. I will eat them all. Well, you're not going to poison my cupcakes though, right? But we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted! As for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. As for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. Way to make her feel like she's not included. It's ruthless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Now Natsuke's pouting too. Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori an extra credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should start making some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk and focuses and starts nodding to herself. Yes, make the atmospheric designs. It's gonna be great. I'm thinking banners of like gold by default, and then like nice cursive black writing, and then like a sweet silver, just sparkle silver, just like lining some of the words. It'd be great. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Crow. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuke and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I can give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuke tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuke, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Crow may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance, So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're making excuses for Crow to... What are you saying? It would be extremely meticulous work, and baking isn't. Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Crow to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten a chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he'll be interested in... You literally just said. I'm surprised as well. Sorry, I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Crow, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everybody looks at me. Now I gotta pick. So Monica already has help. She does. She has Sayori. Yuri likes me. And we gotta do the decorations. But Natsuke is feeling really left out. Like, really angry too at me because I don't interact with her, ever. And she said she's done with me, so there's that. And I don't want to tear apart the group just because I have a crush on one girl. So we're gonna go and we're gonna do Natsuki because I have not shown her... Wait. I think I'm doing Natsuki because I haven't shown her a single kind deed. I didn't side with her in the fight. My poems haven't been geared to her. I mean, sure, Yuri's, nice, but I need to help her because otherwise it's gonna be a super obvious favorite. Oh, banking sounds like it could be fun, and you guys make it seem like a lot of work, so I could probably use 2 people. Don't worry, baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Just a minute ago, you were saying that. That's because... Never mind, okay? Well, okay. You'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. Oh. That's good. Even though Yuri is being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel bad. That's everything, right? Everything else we could talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes. Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you, Crow? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Oh. Natsuke starts pouting too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not just be that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. Having to come up with something for her to do, and then nobody offering to help. Oh, I didn't think about that. That doesn't mean... Ooh. Natsuki glances back and forth with everyone with a worried expression. Look. Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulder. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here, and you're going to help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're going to make the atmosphere special. It'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Well, not really, but... Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Natsuke's words. Natsuke of all people to be saying such encouraging things, but I begin to understand. Natsuke was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best. And all of us are going to make sure it is a really good event. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a little bit longer. I barely got to do any reading today, so fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Why not just go home and read? Just gonna throw that out there. Everyone packs up their things. They start to follow Monica and Yuri out the doors. They chat between each other. Where are you going? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized you didn't even have a way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Jeez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Huh. Natsuki gave me her number. Okay, I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. How do you know my stove works? Wait, you're coming to my house? Well, yeah, what's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I would be coming over to your house. Yeah, right. Like, I could have a guy over at my house. Yeah, that's about right. You shouldn't have guys over at your house, especially when you just met them and they haven't dedicated 2 poems to you. My dad would kill me. Yeah. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me. No, that's kind of extremely reasonable. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just need to complain for a second. We each have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. So, the dad is too strict for his own good. So basically, now, instead of Natsuki having me come over to her place and play with, do baking there, we are now going to go over to my place, a near stranger's house. Sounds about right. Well, I'm going to cut this here. Seems like a pretty good stopping point, and my voice is killing me. I forget how much dialogue there is in this game. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or do all 3.